Welcome everybody to the OpsGenie product demo. My name is Tarun Singh and I will be taking you through it today. In today's demo of OpsGenie, we're going to be going through Teams configuration, integrations, on-call schedules, escalation policies, routing rules, alert actions and notification policies, as well as reporting and analytics. Please note that this is not designed to be a deep technical dive. It's just to give you a full picture of what OpsGenie has, the capabilities it offers, and how it can improve your alert and on-call management processes. So let's get straight into the software. Once we log into OpsGenie, it takes us straight through to the alerts dashboard. On this dashboard, it shows us all of the items that we need to take action on. In this case, we'll have all of the open ones, the closed ones, the ones that are assigned to us, and the ones that we haven't yet seen or acknowledged. From alerts, we'll go through to teams. Teams is basically the same correlation as the teams in your company. In our case, we have our Atlassian team, DevOps team, HR team, and so on. To create teams, all you're going to do is add a team, give your team a name, such as ITSM, OpsGenie team, give it a description, as well as add members. I'm just going to add one member here. And when you add a member, you can give them different roles. In this case, we have users and admins. Users are individuals who respond to incidents, and admins is someone who has the power to configure, set things up, and manage integrations within OpsGenie. You can also have custom roles, in which case you can really go granular on what they can and can't do within OpsGenie. I'm just going to say cancel for this here, because we already have our team set up here. Next, we're going to go through to integrations. When we open the integrations page, we'll be able to see all of our current integrations. In this case here, I have a Jira Service Management one, but we can also create one. When I go to create, you'll see all of the different options that we have. In our case, I'm just going to make a simple Slack one. This will allow us to basically send data to Slack, such as notifications, as well as from Slack, we'll be able to see who is on call and use other features like that. So all I'm going to do is say add to Slack. I'm going to choose a different workspace, marketing, and I'm just going to search for ITSM branch, click allow. And just like that, we have our Slack integration ready. And once you create this here, you can actually define what notifications you actually want. It may be a bit too much to get all of these notifications here. So maybe you'll just want notifications when something is created, when you acknowledge it. So you can really just define what you want to be notified for. I'm going to save this integration here. Next, let's go through to one of the main topics of OpsGenie, which is the on-call schedule. So if I go here, I'll be able to pick my team schedule. And in this view, we'll be able to see all of the rotations, the overrides, the final schedule, etc. It gives us a visual way to know who is working and when they are working. So for example, Signer's shift in this calendar year started at 12 a.m. and ends at 8 a.m. And my one started at 8 a.m. and ends at 4 p.m. Within OpsGenie, you can also have forwardings. So for example, let's say I'm going on holiday on the 31st of October and I need Zaina to take over all of my shifts. All I'll have to do is create a forwarding and it will send it straight through to Zaina. So she immediately takes over all of my shifts on those days there. And right at the bottom here, we see the final schedule with Zaina taking over it. We also have the override function. So for example, let's say one of our colleagues, they have an emergency dentist appointment and they need it to take over. All you'll have to do here is come to override. I'm just going to say on the weekday calendar. And we'll pick the times from 6 to 7. And now it shows up in the calendar year that I will be taking over these times today. Next, let's go through escalations. So let's say if we had an alert and nobody is replying to it, it needs to get escalated through to the next department or to probably the team lead. So to do this here, what I'm going to do is go through to the same DevOps. And in here, you can have escalation rules. So for example, here we have, if it's not acknowledged, then we need to notify all on-call users in the DevOps team schedule. If after 5 minutes it's not acknowledged, we have to notify the next user in rotation. And after 10 minutes, the entire team needs to be notified. But then, let's say if it's still not acknowledged, 60 minutes after creation, then we can route it to a different team. So for example, we can route it through to central operations. And now their team will be involved in this here to try and get this issue sorted as soon as possible. Next, we're going to go through alert policies. So you can have global rules for alert policies, or you can have team-specific rules. In this case here, alert policies basically adjust or add something to an existing alert. So if I go through to edit this one here, you'll see that if the priority is critical, then we're going to add this message here. You can add additional information if you need it, for example, a description in the source here. And we're just going to update it there. So alert policy is basically just add additional information to an alert. Then we also have notification policies. So for example, let's say we don't want to be bombarded with notifications of low priority tickets between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. the next day, so after hours. All we'll have to do is add a low priority. If I just go in here, it will be if the priority is less than P3, which is moderate, between these times of the day, then it will delay notifications until 8 a.m. So you're not going to be bombarded with all of these notifications throughout the evening. Now let's go through what's actually in an alert and in an incident. So in an alert, if I open it up here, let's go through this one here. When we open an alert, we'll be able to see all of the details of it, as well as the activity log. So who actually viewed it, who did the emails get sent through. We'll also be able to see the responder states. So for example, you can see that I've seen it. You can see that Sinai has received it earlier and it has been sent through to Will. We can also add additional notes to it, such as working on it. If we have additional attachments to add, such as screenshots maybe from chats with colleagues, you can add it here. If you're using other software such as Jira Service Management, you can also create incidents right in Jira Service Management, and it creates alerts in OpsGenie automatically. Next, let's go through incidents. So again, when we go through to the incidents page, we'll be able to see all of the open items here. If I open up this one here, you'll be able to see the impacted services that this incident has caused. We can also see the full timeline of events on the right side here. We can also link it to Jira Service Management requests. So for example, if I just open it up here, I'm just going to search for sub 2. And now we have a direct link with the Jira Service Management ticket, and we can see the progress of it there. When we close an incident or resolve it, we will be able to add a post-mortem report. So future issues can be resolved much more easier. So when we create a postmortem, this will basically allow us to describe all circumstances that led up to the incident, what was the fault, the detection, mitigation, as well as lessons learned. We can save this to a Confluence page and attach it to tickets in the future. So we can export it to Confluence, which of course is our document management system. Next, let's talk about analytics and reporting. So within OpsGenie, we have a lot of reports available for you. And all of these reports can be exported to PDF or whatever format you need it to be, such as CSV. In here, you'll be able to see the mean time to acknowledge and all additional stats that you require. You also get really detailed reports, such as the alert analytics, which will show you a whole bunch of stats about how your OpsGenie alerts are performing. And that brings us to the end of this quick demo. I really hope you found value in it, and please feel free to ask us any questions.